Hi guys, it's Claire. I'm filming a scrapbook layout video for you today. I'm going to be using, well first of all I'm going to be using this photo, which is one of the photos that was taken when we very first arrived in Florida for our craft trip. So this is us, all 8 of us, standing outside our villa. And I'm going to be using the On Trend collection and the On Trend 2 embellishments. I brought these over there. If you've watched my haul video, you'll see that I picked these up. I couldn't find the On Trend embellishments, but I got On Trend and then On Trend 2, which work absolutely fine together. Yeah, so these are the papers I'm using. And I've literally just emptied out this bag of embellishments all into this plastic tray so I can see them all. I also have started just a tiny bit. I wasn't going to record this for you, I was literally just going to sit down and play, but as I got into sort of laying it all out, I decided that I might as well press record on the video camera and see what happens. So that's it. So I'm literally talking you sort of through this intro bit, and I think I'll just now play, speed you up through that process, and then maybe come at the end and speak to you again. But I'll see how it goes. I'm not, you know, not into or haven't done these process videos really before. So although I've done it for cards, I find that a lot easier. Whereas with scrapbooking, I just sort of sit and play and we'll see how it turns out. So bear with me. It might be a good video, it might not, but you'll get to see my layout either way. Okay. Okay, I've never actually done a voiceover for a video before, so bear with me. Right, what I'm doing right here is I've mounted my photo onto another piece of the 6x6 patterned paper, a dotty piece, and just stuck that into the middle of my layout, slightly nearer the top than the bottom, because I do know that along the bottom I want to have my title along there. I'm now rummaging through my box of ephemera, literally just picking out bits that I think might work, mainly sorting by colour. In the photo you can see that I'm wearing a peachy coral coloured top, so I'm picking out all the peachy coral coloured pieces, that and green, so just sticking to those two colours, which obviously this collection is mainly those two colours anyway, but I just wanted to just really emphasise the peach or coral, whatever you prefer to call it. So yes, I'm picking out my bits, moving the rest of the box away so that I don't get overwhelmed by all the other bits that are in the box, but I just try and work with what's in front of me. So as you can see, I've picked out that big doily, cut some off of it, the bit that was going to be hiding under the photo, and gone ahead and stuck that down. If I put something in position and I actually like it straight away, I do glue it on. If I'm not sure about it, then I don't put glue on the back for a while. I just leave it there until I think about it, like that sunshine at the top. I haven't glued that in place because I'm not 100% sure if I like it yet. So yeah, so I'm just literally going through all the bits that I've pulled and trying to see where they look good. Things get moved around a lot until I feel happy with them. I do like that big gold number 8. There's obviously 8 of us in the photo, 8 of us that went on holiday, so it's a perfect way of using that. I decide that my doily's up a little bit high, so I move that down a fraction, and I know that I want to use that big flower behind there. So I then go ahead and stick that on. To balance that flower, I do know, or I think that I need another flower down in the bottom left corner, which I will put there eventually. Is it going to be now? Yeah, I move it around for a while at first, but then decide that it definitely needs to go opposite the other big flower. And I like the way that the gold leaf sort of wraps around and frames the bottom of the photo. So I stick that down into place. As I say, I do, if I like something, I stick it down. It can always be moved anyway, but I do generally just, you know, if it feels right, I stick it. So yeah, still just going through all the bits and pieces. That tab at the top I know I like, so off camera I just put some adhesive in there and fold that over, ready to be slipped on. I actually add stitching to that in the end as well, but I like it stuck on the back there. So just popping in bits as and when. That sentiment on there says today is the best day ever, which I thought was very appropriate. I'm still desperate to get that sunshine in there because it was boiling hot. Obviously the whole time we were on holiday it was lovely sunshine, so it would have worked really well, but it just doesn't make it onto the layout, nor do the 2 flamingos, which I actually quite like looking at them now on camera, but they didn't make it on. The pineapple I put in there just to balance out the gold of the number 8. It balanced out the gold onto the other side, and I thought it worked quite well. And these little tags, I actually cut down and slip them behind, and so they're just poking out a little bit. There you go, so you can see I've stuck them together. I'm now just popping them in the back so that they just show a little bit. Again, I add some stitching over there as well, so you get some stitching detail eventually. That other half of the doily doesn't actually make it onto... Oh, it does, yes, I do end up slipping it behind there so you can just see it. Yeah, putting some glue on there now and just popping it in. Not sure what I'm doing now. Oh, I'm pulling out my box of bits and pieces that I've cut on the silhouette. So just leaves that I have already cut, you know, odd flowers, all different things that I sort of generally pull this box out and try and work them into a layout somewhere. I do like these big leaves that I have, and I end up putting, I think, 4 or 5 onto the layout. Just tiny little bit of Tombow glue and popping those in. Some behind that flower and then some down on the other side. By the other flower. As I say, they're just ones that I've cut out on the silhouette machine. I'm just deciding where they should go. I'm actually struggling a bit with this layout. I've got my nails painted, as you can see in the video, and it's not gel nails, it's normal nail varnish. So every time my nails touch the white cardstock, it's leaving a mark, which is really annoying me. Normally I put gel nails on so that it doesn't rub off onto your scrapbooking, because it's really irritating when it does. But so I'm trying my best not to get my nail varnish on the white cardstock. Okay, I also pull out from that box some glitter hearts that I just had already punched out, and then I'm sticking bits and pieces in place. I think everything is stuck down now apart from that awesome and that heart, which as you can see I'm taking off. And now what I do is I head over to, well, I've just done it, I head over to my sewing machine and put some stitching everywhere. I've gone all the way around the edge and then on the tab that was at the top, and also by that lovely word. So I'm just pulling my threads through to the back, and then I'm going to secure those there with some washi tape. Okay, once that is done, I think my next thing is to, I puff up the edges of the paper along the edges of my nails, again being careful not to get my nail varnish on the white cardstock. And I think the next thing I decide to add is some foam pads. It's just behind some of those elements on there, so behind some of the leaves that make them stand up a little bit, behind the flower. Just odd bits and pieces. You can see where I put them just to add a little bit of dimension. I kind of wish that I put the number 8 on dimensionals, but I didn't, so there it stayed. But I just puff up all the little bits so it doesn't look quite so flat. I now pull out my thickers, and I know that I want to have gold thickers, but I rummage through to decide what ones to use. I do end up deciding on those glittery gold Fitzgerald ones. Which I absolutely love, and they work really nicely with the glitter gold hearts that I put on there. Okay, so I grab a piece of acetate. I'm just off camera here. Oh, you can see I grabbed an old piece of acetate just to stick my title down and line it all up, and then I went ahead and stuck it onto my layout. And now I'm rummaging through my enamel dots and stamping up candy dots. I end up using the ones in the Brights collection. There's an orange and a green in there that work really well. So I do 3 little clusters of enamel dots, so 3 little clusters of 3. I think each cluster's got 2 orange and 1 green in there. Yeah, just being fussy and getting them in a nice triangle like I like. And that's it. And that's my layout done, I think. I'm quite happy with it. I'm happy with all the stitching and bits that I've put on. The hashtag paperettes on tour, if you go onto my Instagram, you'll be able to see some of the photos. Basically, that's where we uploaded some photos as we were on our trip. But that's it. I'm going to keep this one quite simple. I'm tempted to add some ink splatters, but I think I'll actually leave it as is. Yeah, that's all there is to say about it really. As I say, I'm not au fait with these scrapbooking process videos, so bear with me if this isn't the best video, but hopefully with a bit more practice they'll get better. Yeah, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.